Hi guys, today I'm going to be giving you my tips and tricks for how you can make your best team and how you can make your team and your farming of your team the most efficient. So before we get into the video, guys, please subscribe. I'm trying to hit 100 subscribers by the end of this month, and let's hop into the video. Okay, so how should you make your teams? Let's hop over to my team. Okay, so firstly, listen, I'm gonna give you one of the tips which I think is the most underrated. You should try it. Don't have a team full of the most of the same elements. So, i.e., don't make your whole team say fire. This is because it was quite simple. You need fire heroes to level up your character. So if all of your heroes are fire heroes, it means that it's going to be very, very difficult for you to get all your heroes up to a high level because they're all going to require the same materials to level up. So that's my first tip. Don't have a ton of the same elements on your team, unless some of the heroes are incredibly good. So in which case, i.e. Warlock, Death Warlock, can say, then there's no choice, and it's just worth it because they're both good heroes. Now, second tip, you should almost always have a healer on your team. Some of the best healers are Serene, All-Star Chef, and the Flora Fairy is pretty good too. And Totem, this guy here. These guys are very good healers. You should almost always have at least one healer on your team. I think Serene's the best healer, but obviously All-Star Chef's pretty good too. But you should always have one healer on your team. I don't think it's necessary to have more than one because that's just a little excessive. But almost always have at least one healer on your team. That's very important because if one of your characters dies, it's horrible. I'd rather have 5 heroes alive at the end than have tons of heroes with high damage and have one die early. Because then all your weaker heroes, so say if they're weaker than the one strong one you want to put them, they'll be doing damage for longer because the healer's keeping them alive. So yeah, that's a very valuable tip. Something I found out quite late in the game because I wanted to just do tons of damage with my heroes and I didn't spend enough time healing them. Okay, another tip. Tanks. Tanks are very important in this game. Tanks essentially soak up damage. So Shield Vigilante, Tree of Eon. These are I think, the best 2 tanks in the game. This guy's pretty trash. Don't do anything with him. I also have a video on Hero Battle about the best tanks in the game, so watch that for more detail. But essentially, tanks will soak up damage. This means that your high damage heroes will be able to deal damage and not be damaged, or they'll die slower. And then your healers can focus on healing your tank. So yeah, it's quite nice really. And some of these tanks provide shields, they provide healing, they'll do damage. I mean, Tree of Eon even has an interruption, which is incredible. So yeah, always have at least one tank in the game. Not in the game, in your team, sorry. So that's one tank, one healer. Now, for next tip, you need to have some heroes which can do crowd control. So crowd control, the Death Warlock, the Thunderlord, or Zeus as I call him. I keep calling him Zeus because he looks like Zeus. So yeah, that's my bad if I ever say that. But these 2 guys are very good for crowd control. I mean, so's this guy here. But yeah, these guys are very good crowd control heroes. So almost always have one crowd control guy in your team. I personally go for the Death Warlock, but obviously Thunderlord's very good too, and so's this guy. They're all very good. Just choose it. Choose this depending on which elements you don't have in your team. But I personally think Thunderlord is better for PvE rather than PvP, but that's just my personal opinion and what I've gathered from playing the game. Maybe you guys have a different play style to me. Okay, now then, high damage heroes. You need heroes which do tons of damage, so Underlord, Kensei, Monkey King, Warlock again. Yeah, you need heroes with tons of damage, and these guys are some of my favorite heroes for dealing damage. I used Monkey King a lot and Death Warlock because they do tons of damage and they have other abilities too. The Death Warlock's got a summon, and a hero that it's just incredible. Always choose heroes which have different capabilities. So don't choose someone who just does damage, because you'll almost always find someone who does damage and stuns, for example. And it's the same way, don't just get a tank. Get a tank which can do other stuff, a tank which can heal, a tank which can interrupt. Because then it's essentially you have a larger base set of skills and you have a higher pool which you can pull from. Say if you need a stun, you have a hero on your team which can stun. And it's just pretty simple. Always make sure your heroes can do multiple different things. Yep, those are my favorite attack damage heroes. And another tip, this goes without saying, I think it's pretty simple. Never use A heroes. A tier heroes. These guys are trash, they suck. Don't waste your time leveling these guys up. It's a waste of resources. Never do it. Keep these guys as fodder for your other heroes. Don't waste time. Another tip, artifacts. Always have artifacts equipped. Always have artifacts equipped. Essentially, when I first unlocked these, I slapped on them. I didn't. Well, I was like, oh, I don't care. They're just there on the side. But these things are actually very important. Keep leveling them up, and always have them equipped because it's just extra bonuses and it just makes your team better. So, yep, always go for artifacts, level them up, keep them high levels, and just keep them in your team. Okay, so that's what I have so far. Well, actually, have I mentioned interrupters? I don't think I have. Okay, I'll mention them now. Always have an interrupter in your team, especially in PvE battles against bosses. Always have an interrupter because you can stop their massive attacks. So yeah, pretty simple really. I really like the tree of Eon because he's also a tank. As I mentioned before, lots of different things he can do lots of different things, which makes him a good hero. He's a tank which can interrupt. So yeah, just pretty simple really. Incredible hero. Heroes and healers. Yep, mention healers and yeah, perfect. So those are my tips. Let me know what you think. Have I missed something? I mean, I'm sure I have missed something because there's so much stuff in this game. Let me know in the comments below if I missed something, and let me know what other videos you wish to see. And yeah, please like, subscribe, and thank you. Have a lovely day.